Hi, this is a smaller tutorial than the one I did for the Brahma 6, which is obviously is kind of the main focus of my developments. This is for this video is a tutorial for the differences for the Dolphin, this is a holder that is designed to hold on to the waterproof casings. So for the Xiaomi Yi again, although it does actually work, we will work with others, but let's concentrate on the Xiaomi Yis at the moment. So it's a holder for the Xiaomi Yi waterproof casings. So put 6 of them. Okay, so to make a 360 rig. And what I'm going to do here is show you just how the difference is, and explain things you need to know, etc. if you're going to build and order one of these. Right, so let's open up the page. You can see this is my shop. You can see I've got a number of products here. This is the main one. This is the Brahma 6. This is if you want to do good quality 360 and get the best results in 4K. This one is still your best bet. If everything's about getting it the best results, that's your puppy. Okay, that's the one to go for. The Duo is a 2-camera system with 220 lenses. It's a nice little tiny little thing. Pop it in your pocket. It's really useful. Of course, then there's the Dolphin, which is this one which we're talking about today. In this picture here, you can see, in fact, the picture underneath me, you can see it's holding a number of different cases. So it's designed. This is the third prototype. The first couple weren't too bad actually. The first one it needed a bit of work, no doubt about it. It did need a bit of work. The second one was almost perfect. It's quite frustrating actually. It was almost perfect, but the fitting was a little bit tight in places, and also the fact that it would not accept the different. It would only accept this case reliably. So I've loosened up the fittings. I'll go through that anyway as we go on. But I've loosened the fittings just a little bit so that other ones will fit. Now I'm also working on the basis of the same principles behind the Brahma 6. In fact, let me go full screen just for a moment. The idea being that all the lenses, as you can see, are in the middle of the square. So all the faces have the lenses in the middle. Okay. It's the same philosophy behind the Brahma 6 to get the best results possible. Unfortunately, because of the size of these cases, it has that's empty for a reason. I'm going to put that in a minute. But obviously these cases are quite big. It has increased the size. It's about 25 millimeters further apart than the lenses than what they are in the Brahma 6. So potentially could have some issues with parallax. You need to keep an eye on. But realistically, this is it's about the same size as the rigs as I've seen, but it's a lot cheaper. I think quite amusingly, this with the well, you can see the price here, £133. With the cases are about £7 each. So it comes to about £180 for the rig without the cameras. I think my nearest competitor's $4,500. Obviously it's a much better rig and go a lot deeper and so on, but really. I did see one, I think, for about $2,000 for case. Really. Anyway, so we'll come along. We'll come to that later on. Anyway, so let's start how these put together. So I suppose an important part here is, as you can see, and let me just switch to the closer view. Right. So you can see the case fits in here, and it swivels around this connector. And this is the thing that I got wrong. I mean, I literally had to open it up by about 1/4 millimeter each side, because 4 of these, with this particular case, 4 of them fit beautifully, just like this, absolutely beautifully. 2 of them were tight, and they were it was a bit too tight. And when you then grabbed hold of, hang on, right, these are different cases. In fact, let's just do the Xiaomi one actually. These different cases. So this is the one that most people get, the Xiaomi cases that they quite often come with, and this now fits in this final version. These fit, as you can see on hopefully on the home page, or let me just show you, not that one then, but it'll be this next one. As you can see, it takes all the 3 Xiaomi types. In fact, no, there are 2 Xiaomi types, and that one's actually a completely different camera type, but it just shows that they all fit. So that was the reason why I had to do another prototype, and also the back stops, which, let me see, can you see these back stops? It's actually quite tricky to, where's the camera pointing to? There, see the back stop. So the camera comes up and you push it down and it hits the back stop, and it's really meant just as an alignment so that when you look at the cameras, if you look along this line here, this is really tricky actually, right? You can see they're pretty much straight, but you can adjust them to get them perfect. The idea is you want these pointing straight out, okay? You don't want them angled like that, obviously. That'll help parallax. So that's the reason for the stops. Now, of course, if you use different cameras, they might be slightly out, and you might want to look at that. But once you do them up tight, they don't move. These pinch points are really good. I haven't got these done up, so they kind of slide backwards and forwards. So what I'll do is I'll show you how we put these in. First of all, let's just go through the bits you need. If you go to, let me get to the page. If we go over to the actual page where you order the rig, again, the rig is just a rig. It doesn't include the cases. Okay, it's very important to understand it. It's just the blue part. You need to order your own cases, and a note on the cases actually. These ones here are rated at 60 meters. Obviously, the rig, the blue part, is not the waterproof bit. It's the cases. I know it's obvious, right? But it's all down to the cases you use. So you know, these ones seem quite nice. They look quite nice to me, and they, I put them underwater. They keep the water out. I haven't taken it into the ocean, that kind of thing. But it's there to hold. Now, if we scroll down, just see, go for a bit about the product. We come down to what do you need. So you need 6 Xiaomi cameras. Obviously, you need 6 of these cameras. As you can see, they're going up in price. I think the exchange rate is changing. £53. You need the houses. Now I use these ones. Okay, there are others available. So like you can see, there's this one here. This goes 60. There's a 40. There's a number of them, and they should all fit. And if you click on other ones, so there are other ones available. They should in theory all fit. The ones I've tried, they all fit. Also, not this version, right? But I've ordered a GoPro waterproof housing, and I'm going to make sure that fits. Now I know for a fact, I'm pretty confident that the actual, that bit will be fine and the layout will be fine, but the backstops will be completely wrong because I put another one in and it sticks up. So there'll have to be a separate version of this for GoPro. So do not order, if you want to do this with a GoPro. Well, for one thing, I haven't tested it yet. But if you want to order it, don't. Brahma Dolphin, yeah, let's get that title in there, put in there with what it does is Xiaomi, see, it's crop the title. There's a Xiaomi version, then there'll be a GoPro version. It's important you get the right one. Otherwise, if you get the wrong one, because they print them for you, right, you'd have to cut off the backstops. Okay, so let me just show you them backstops. You'd have to cut off, which you don't want to be doing, these backstops, and that's the only change. Is these backstops are going to go back a little bit further, so that it's just the positioning of the way the camera goes in and so on. So there'll be a separate version. Very important you are aware of that. Right. What else do you need? Let me just scroll down here. Let's go back to the page. Scroll down. Right. So you've got your camera housings, your hex bolts, 5mm. Let's open that up. Close some of this down. Okay. You need these hex bolts. Okay. Which basically are hex bolts and lock-in nuts. Now they're M5, 25mm. Okay, as you can see, it is listed. Okay, you need that. It's even. Let me show you. Okay, so here we go. They're these bolts. They're 25mm long M5, and the locking nut, you can tell the locking nut because it has that little bit of nylon inside. Okay, can you see that? And that's the bit that locks. And then it really is this simple. Okay, all you do is you get your housing with your base, and you pop it into the socket, depending on the different, but these ones going beautifully because it was obviously designed for these. And then we put this bolt through there, okay, and then we do this nut up. Okay, just do the nut. Now I'm going to switch cameras because it's actually quite tricky to, oh no, not that one, let's go to that one. Right, I'm just going to do this because it's actually quite tricky for me. Yeah, 8mm. Okay, it's an 8mm and a little hex. And all we do is we do it up, and it will get to the locking bit, then it gets tight. Just keep going, keep going, and keep going, and keep going, and keep going until it pinches. Until it pinches on the blue parts, and you can feel it just pinching. You don't want it tight yet, okay? Because you want it to be able to open up like that. Yeah. So let's switch back cameras. Right. So you want it to be able to open like that. Now, what we do now is there's a little on this one. There are different versions. So you get this type here, and then you flip that, and it's got a little hook on that one, which is quite nice. So in theory it should fall out, but people tell me they do fall out. So, and then you undo it and you put your camera in. Yeah, it's true, they do fall off. Yeah, it is important. They're £6-7. So you know, they're once they're sealed up, they're fine. But they can be a bit of pain. This one's similar. I actually quite like this one myself, to be fair. You have this little locking mechanism here. You push that across, flip that, lift that up. Now this does have the same problem as it can pop off, but it's no big deal. Okay, it's quite strong, and you just clip it back in again. Open the lid up, right? Open the lid up. Grab your Xiaomi camera, and then you pop that into there. Okay. Close that up, and then hook it over, push down. Now, really important I noticed about this. This little bit here this little trunk doesn't always click back into place. There is a spring to make it, but it doesn't always. So, oh God, in this case it's done it, right? But sometimes they don't. Just make sure that it has clipped back in place, or this will flip undone. And if that flips undone, your seal's gone, your water gets in, and bye camera. Okay, so that's kind of important. So with that, all we do now is we push that back into position, and then if you're ready to go, okay, so you really won't want to put these in until you fully charged. Charge them, make sure they're charged in the morning. If you're going to go out somewhere surfing, you lucky people. If you're going to go off somewhere nice, I've got one chap's going to go film. I won't tell you what he's going to film because hopefully it's going to be a surprise video. We just do these up a bit tighter, okay? That is now solid. That ain't going nowhere, okay? That's really in there solidly, okay? And you just do the same with all of them. You just do them up, but do remember when you're looking at these, because you've obviously what you want is this here to be in line. So the stoppers, the stops there are there to just put it into position. But just double check you're okay, mate. I mean, these ones look actually they're just right. Just try and make sure they're level, okay? Okay, because obviously different cases are subtly different with how far the back sticks out, that kind of thing. So just make sure you do that. But there you go. Then you've got yourself a nice. Once you've got all your cameras in, okay, and all you do is you just turn them on with that button there. Yeah. And then it's just the usual. Now, obviously, this will work with the app, so you can put them all in and turn them all on. And obviously, you can't go in the water with the. Actually, some of them they talk about you can, but anyway, I wouldn't. But you can start them recording, then go into the water. But I mean, look, you can just press the button, start. Okay, there you go. That's now recording. So you can just do all that like you would before. it's very, also the other thing to bear in mind is this, that the sound is a bit more muted because it's in a plastic case. Okay, so if you do your clap, I would suggest, if you've got something to flash it or spin, do your usual stuff to set your where the, so it's got, the software's got somewhere to start from. But apart from that, in fact, let me just stop this. Okay, but that holds them in really nice. It's not overly heavy with all the cameras in there. I mean, this weighs nothing. I mean, it is actually fairly strong. It's a pretty strong little device. There we go. It's a pretty strong device. It's not going to be as good as if it was made out of steel. You can get these printed in steel for about £300, £350 or maybe £400. They do an aluminium one for £1,500. I'm sure you don't want that unless you've got loads and loads of money. If you've got loads and loads of money, to be honest, you're probably going to be buying one of the big Freedom rigs, the GoPros, all that kind of thing. But this is for people that haven't got as much money. And the other thing is, if something went pear-shaped and I dropped this in, and I lost it, then it's £400, compared to about £2,000 £7,000 or whatever they're charging for these rigs. So that's basically that. It is good, and I think, and I've got to do a little test actually to check the buoyancy with all the cameras in, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be buoyant. But no, apart from that, I'm really pleased. I hope you are. And I look forward to receiving some demonstration videos. I hope that's answered all your questions. There's more information if you want to look at the Brahma 6 introduction, which is about an hour and a half long. There's a lot of stuff you can learn in that. This is really just to show you how you assemble it all up. I suppose actually before I call it a day, what I should do is, if you're going to want to mount a pole or something on here, or want to mount this to something, there is a hole in here, as you can see. Now, I'm not sure why you want to mount it to a rig, but I have this for a normal stand. Okay, I have this, which is I've shown before, but it's a ball joint stand, and this thing clips into the top, and I've put a 25mm 25mm bolt on there. This is an M6, okay, and the big washers, and I put that through there, okay, and then I put a locking nut and washer on the top there, and that then can mount into a stand. Now, for an underwater rig, I don't know what you're going to mount it to. Obviously, I couldn't tell you. But there's if you were going to use a normal camera mount, there are other ways of, you'd want to mount this onto an adapter that would then mount into it like a holder. I maybe as a holder or something, but that would be for you to decide how you're going to mount this. One other thing which now has, so the other point was this, that if you do want to mount it, there's another good reason for using these rigs, is not just the fact they go underwater, and that is that it protects the cameras. Okay, it will protect the cameras, so you could bolt this. So this will bolt onto the front of say a truck, an off-road truck, or something like that, or somewhere you want to actually take it. All right, you can bolt this. See, I've got here actually an adapter, a two-way adapter, and you can bolt that to there. You've got to check the weights and everything, and make sure you've got your mounting, because this is not, I'm just giving you an example of a mounting here. You really want to make this secure. But this thing can then be mounted onto, say, a bonnet of a truck, and then, to be honest, you'd really want to check your strength, because it's not overly heavy, it's not light either, so just bear that in mind. But it's really meant for taking these things underwater, okay? But it will also double up as something that protects your rig, gives it some good protection and saves the cameras, because if you drop this, you would probably save your camera if it hits the ground. Your camera's going to get less damaged inside these cases, or even if you want to put it outside and it's in the bad weather, keep the rain, keep the damp, everything off of it. So there's lots of uses for this. Okay, so if you've got any more questions, just get back in. Let me just switch. Get back in touch with me. and I did actually. I tell you what, I will, let me just show you. I have taken a test video with this to make sure it's obviously all working. If I put this right, so if you can see this now, this is literally just I videoed it. In fact, this was the original prototype, so the cameras weren't actually mounted perfectly. So I expect that there is. I'm going to show you the stitching errors. Okay, remember I said about being bigger, parallax. I'll show you stitching errors, but I think this one will actually be even better. So I'm going to do another one of these, but just to show you, so you can see, you'll hear the muted sound. In fact, yeah, the sound's still there, but it is more muted. Right, yeah, there's a sea lion there. Right, but if I scroll round, you can see. Can you see just about? I don't know if you can see. Interesting. Okay, so around the door handle you can see a little bit of stitching error, and if I come round, let's rerun that. Okay, there's Caroline. Right, there's quite a bad one. So you can see it's actually the cameras were obviously out of position. You know, this is because they're further apart. But I think you'll find the next one will actually be the next one I do will actually be quite good. Having said that, I would assume these are going to be used outside. And this is the software that's made the errors, so it's the software's gone wrong because there's plenty of overlap. But it's if you're going to do like a landscape thing, like a big area, you won't have any problems. Okay, I'm sure you'll be fine when you close up. That's why I always do tests in my conservatory, because you can see all the straight joints and everything. It shows it all nicely. But it's going to be a good rig, and we'll upload some footage and and make it available, some playlists of example footage as it becomes available. Hopefully you like that, and I'll speak to you soon.